The untold history of gaming consoles you never knew existed. Hey, what's up, gamers? It's your host, Casey, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the annals of gaming history, unearthing consoles that time forgot. Before the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and the Switches, there were pioneers, bold experiments, consoles that dared to dream of a different gaming future. These weren't just boxes with joysticks, they were revolutionary ideas, pushing the boundaries of technology and gameplay. But for every success story, there are countless others lost in the shuffle, overshadowed by the giants of the industry. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey through gaming's forgotten past, uncovering the consoles you've probably never heard of, but secretly shaped the industry we know and love today. Let's get started. All right, gamers, let's rewind the clock back to 1982, a time when Pac-Man fever was sweeping the nation and the Atari 2600 reigned supreme. But lurking in the shadows was a console unlike anything the world had ever seen, the Vectrex. Now imagine this, a console that didn't need a TV. Yeah, you heard that right. The Vectrex came with its own built-in vector display, a technology that used glowing lines to create images. Think of it like an old-school oscilloscope, but instead of boring waveforms, it was blasting out spaceships and asteroids. This unique display gave the Vectrex a distinct look, with crisp, sharp graphics that blew away the competition. Games like Star Trek and Mindstorm immersed players in wireframe worlds, creating an illusion of 3D long before polygons were even a thing. But here's the catch. In 1983, the great video game crash. It was a dark time for the industry, and the Vectrex, despite its innovative tech, got caught in the crossfire. Production halted, and the console faded into obscurity. But its legacy, oh, it lived on. The Vectrex's bold attempt to break away from the television screen paved the way for future consoles to experiment with unique form factors and immersive experiences. Think about it, VR headsets, portable consoles, even mobile gaming. They all owe a debt to the Vectrex's pioneering spirit. Fast forward to 1990, and the gaming landscape had changed. The NES was king and 16-bit gaming was on the horizon. But then came a console so audacious, so powerful, it made everything else look like child's play, the Neo Geo. This wasn't just a console, it was a statement. The Neo Geo was designed to bring the arcade experience home, and it spared no expense in doing so. We're talking top-of-the-line hardware capable of pushing graphics and sound that rivaled, if not surpassed, what you'd find at your local arcade. Games like Fatal Fury, Metal Slug, and King of Fighters were visual powerhouses, boasting detailed sprites, fluid animation, and gameplay so smooth it would make your eyes water. But there was a catch, and it was a big one: the price. The Neo Geo was astronomically expensive, both for the console itself and its games. We're talking hundreds of dollars for the system, and sometimes even more for individual game cartridges. Needless to say, it was a luxury few could afford. The Neo Geo became the console for the elite, the gaming connoisseurs with deep pockets and a thirst for the absolute best. Despite its limited commercial success, the Neo Geo's impact was undeniable. It set a new bar for what was possible in home console gaming, proving that arcade-quality experiences could be achieved outside the arcade. And while its price tag may have been a barrier for many, it forced other companies to strive for better, to push the envelope of graphics and sound, even if it meant finding a more affordable balance. Chapter 3, TurboGrafx 16. The CD-ROM pioneer lost in the 16-bit wars. Let's journey back to 1987, when the 16-bit revolution was just around the corner. Amidst the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo battle, the TurboGrafx 16 emerged, quietly changing the game. Developed by NEC, it boasted a unique graphics processor with vibrant colors. Its real claim to fame was the TurboGrafx CD, the world's first CD-ROM-based gaming system. The CD revolution started here, offering unprecedented game capacity. Games like Wise Y and 2 showcased its potential. Despite its innovations, the TurboGrafx 16 struggled against Sega and Nintendo. Its legacy paved the way for CD-based gaming, leading to the rise of Sony's PlayStation. Chapter 4. Sega Dreamcast gone too soon, but its legacy lives on. Let's fast forward to 1999, the dawn of a new millennium. The Sega Dreamcast dared to dream of a future connected by a global network. It was a console ahead of its time. With a built-in modem, it allowed online gaming years before Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. Games like Phantasy Star Online showcased its online capabilities. The Dreamcast also introduced VMUs, memory cards that doubled as handheld consoles. Despite its innovations, it couldn't compete with the PlayStation 2. Discontinued in 2001, the Dreamcast's legacy lived on. Its pioneering features paved the way for the connected gaming world we know today. Chapter 5: Honorable Mentions. The Fallen Soldiers of Innovation. Now gamers, we've covered some of the biggest names in forgotten console history, but there were others. Consoles that may not have achieved mainstream success but still left their mark on the industry. Take the Atari Jaguar, for instance. Released in 1993, it boldly claimed to be the world's first 64-bit console. It was a technological marvel, but its complex architecture and lack of compelling software ultimately led to its downfall. Then there was the 3DO, released in 1994. This ambitious console was envisioned as a multimedia powerhouse, capable of playing games, movies, and music. But its high price tag and fragmented game library hampered its success. And let's not forget the pioneer Laser-Active, a behemoth of a console released in 1993 that tried to be everything to everyone. It played Laserdiscs, CD-ROMs, and even Sega Genesis cartridges, but its astronomical price and niche appeal doomed it to obscurity. These consoles, while ultimately commercial failures, were testaments to the spirit of innovation that drives the gaming industry forward. They dared to push boundaries, to experiment with new technologies, and to imagine a future where gaming was more than just a hobby. Their legacies may be hidden in the annals of gaming history, but their influence can be felt in the consoles we play today. The next time you boot up your favorite game, take a moment to remember these forgotten pioneers, the consoles that dared to dream of a different gaming future. Outro: the legacy of gaming's unsung heroes. So, there you have it. Gamers, the untold history of gaming consoles filled with forgotten heroes, bold experiments, and innovations that shaped the industry we know and love today. These consoles may not have achieved mainstream success, but they dared to push the boundaries, to challenge the status quo, and to imagine a different gaming future. Their innovations, once considered revolutionary, are now standard features in modern consoles. Online gaming, CD-ROM technology, even the humble memory card, they all owe a debt to these forgotten pioneers. So the next time you're exploring a vast open world, competing with friends online, or marveling at the graphical fidelity of a modern game, take a moment to remember the consoles that paved the way. The consoles you've probably never heard of, but secretly shaped the future of gaming.